Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me for the Sunday video update. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. I'm currently flying solo temporarily at the moment. Dad and Amy had just left. They went up to the store. They're going to get some Pepsi and I don't know, maybe some other good stuff. Uh, I wasn't here last week for Mother's Day because I had been battling a sinus infection. I think I'm at the tail end of it now, so um, I'm feeling much better than I did last week around this time. I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day. I hope you had a wonderful week. Um, there's a lot to go over, not some good news, of course. If you listen to my Sunday video, or no, I'm sorry, not my Sunday video, but my recent daily rant recording, um, our cat Patches was attacked and killed by a pit bull. And I've been, I'm having a hard time dealing with it, but I think I'm getting better at, getting used to the fact that she's not here anymore. I'm getting used to that, and as the days go on, I think I'm getting better at, just accepting the fact that she's not with us anymore. My heart will always be broken because we've had Patches for, any number of years. Let me adjust my mic here. But we've had Patches for a very long time, and, so this was a devastating loss, and, Dad and Amy, they seem to be taking it fairly well. I'm not going to attack Amy or tell Amy she's wrong for not feeling enough poignant feelings about the loss of her cat that she's had for 15 years. I said that in the Daily Rant recording, and I'll say it again. I stand by what I say. I'm not going to tell her she's wrong for not feeling enough or feeling a certain way. Um, but for myself, I can only speak for myself that I feel incredibly sad that we lost one of our pets in such a tragic, horrific manner. And but as the days go on, I think I'm just getting used to the fact that she's no longer with us, and it's just been really hard to deal with. But I think as the days go on, I'll be okay. I didn't take it so good at first. I I was in an emotional mess, and the days get better as the days come and go. I'm getting better at dealing with the emotions of that. But I will miss Patches. We've had her for a very long time. So that was the big news of this past week. Um, some other news, Mother's Day was good. I didn't get to visit with my mom last week because of the sinus infection, and I didn't want her to catch what I had. So um, I decided to stick here at home. I decided to hang back, and but I did, I called her on the phone. I talked to her for about a half an hour or so, and it turned out good. We talked for a good half hour, and she said, "Well, you don't sound very well," and it's because I'm not well. I'm battling a sinus infection, but this week I am doing much, much better. Um, and I decided that I can do a live stream on my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you're subscribed. I think the chat logs are open. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube chat log. I can't see anything. It just says top chat. So I don't know if I'm supposed to click because there's an arrow pointing downward. I don't know if that's a drop down menu. I'm clicking on it and there's nothing there. Um, for some reason, I don't think this mic is okay. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't want to screw anything up. Um, but I don't know if the chat log is open for you guys. It's just a black screen, like there's no, available for subscribers only, which it is. It's subscribers only. Um, so if you are subscribed to my channel and if you want to come in and say hello, please do. But if you're going to act a fool, your ass is history. You're gone. I will. I will. I will happily and judiciously use the ban button. I will boot your ass immediately if you come into my chat log acting stupid and foolish. And that's that. But if you want to come in and say hi, please do. I would love to have a chat with you guys. But for some reason, my chat is not showing. I don't care who you are. If you're watching, just say hello, because I don't know if okay. Oh, pop out chat is over here. Well, I didn't want that. Okay, maybe that's not it. Participants. It's not. Uh-oh. Now it's not showing anything. Yeah, I should just stop fucking with it. But yeah, this is what I do on Sundays. Okay, now I'm not seeing anything. There's no options anymore. Uh-oh. So, but yeah, I do this every Sunday at 3:00 Eastern time. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about that, other than I do this on Sunday. The live streams every week at 3:00. And I just talk about the week in review. I had a discussion with a buddy of mine, I think it was about a couple weeks ago, because I had mentioned StreamYards. I wanted to potentially introduce StreamYard into my live streams on Sundays, but not knowing how that actually works, I haven't gone ahead and done that yet. It's a work in progress. Everything is, a work in progress. I'm learning something new every day. But for some reason, now I'm kind of bothered by the fact that there's no, like my screen is totally black where the chat log should be. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or what the deal is, but I don't like it. But it's showing I'm live and I've got one person watching. Yeah, that's a little strange, to say the least, but I am live nonetheless. I tried to get somebody to comment in the chat log just to see what's going on, but to no avail, at least not yet anyway. We did have some severe weather come through yesterday. It wasn't really bad here. And, like Saginaw, they got hit really hard with rain. And I think Lansing got hit hard. Mount Pleasant got hit earlier in the week, last week. And the town of Remus in Mecosta County, they just got a lot of hail. It looked like snow on the ground. That's how much hail they got. But we had a few rumbles of thunder here, maybe a torrential downpour. It wasn't incredibly severe as it was in other places, but we did get our fair share of precipitation and thunderstorm activity. And as you can see, the house is still standing. So, yeah. So to kind of recap a little bit, Mother's Day was good. Like I said, I talked to my mom for maybe a half an hour at the most on the phone, and it was nice. Last week, I think it was, I went on my joyride to, or no, it was a week before that. I went to the 3 states. I didn't upload a video to this channel, but I did go to the state, the borders of Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana, and I put together a little video, which I did not upload to this channel yet, but I will very soon. And I will give you all an opportunity to check it out. And, it was something to do. It was something fun. And in that same day, I visited with a cancer survivor, very good friend of mine, young guy. He has a birthday coming up next month, and his mom said that she was going to get with me on details of a birthday party to come next month for his birthday, and I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, there's really hasn't been a whole lot happening. We lost a couple of country music singers. I think I announced this a couple weeks ago. Naomi Judd had passed away. And we also lost Mickey Gilley at the age of 86. I wasn't here last week to report that, but we did lose Mickey Gilley at the age of 86. Another one of my favorite country artists. And, I don't know if he was ill. I think he was ill. I think he was, but don't mark me on that because my information may be inaccurate, but I think he was sick for a while. And ultimately it resulted in his death. But 86 is a good life. He had a lot of good songs. I have the movie Urban Cowboy on DVD. I'm a big Mickey Gilley fan, and I was really sad to hear of his passing, but 86 is a good life, and my condolences go out to his family and, of course, to the family of Naomi Judd, which, by the way, tonight on CMT, they are going to have a televised memorial service for Naomi Judd. You'd have to check your local listings for that. If you have CMT, I know it's going to be airing sometime this evening, sometime tonight. But it's going to be a televised memorial service for the late, great Naomi Judd. And she was one of my favorites, too. I love the Judds. I grew up listening to the Judds. They had a lot of wonderful hits. Even when they split up and Winona went on to do her solo stuff, she had a lot of good solo hits in the day back then. And I was really shocked. I was blown away to hear about Naomi Judd's passing. And as I'm sure many of you are, if you're country music fans and if you grew up listening to the Judds like I did, I mean, that's big business. It's serious. But she is missed dearly. And the whole world is going to miss Naomi Judd. I think we already do, collectively. So trying to think of what else happened this past week. Well, I was talking to Dad about this, and I was contemplating if I wanted to discuss this in my Sunday video update, but I have, in fact, been considering getting my own apartment. I don't know when that would be, but I have considered moving out, getting my own place to live. It would be, in Chesaning, not 1,000 miles away, but it would be in Chesaning. There are a few apartment complexes around Chesaning, and I have considered maybe getting my own place to live. It's not that I don't love living here. I've lived here for 25 years, but I need to try it on my own, see if I can do it. And if things go well, I'll be living on my own and I'll be doing my Sunday video updates from a different location. Obviously not here at home, but I would probably have to, as I'm in the process of moving, I would have to, postpone Sunday video updates because I won't be able to actually do them until I get my internet service switched over to the new place, and I have to get everything set up, registered, that kind of a thing. You know how it goes if you've ever moved. But I have been considering it. Nothing is set in stone yet. I've been talking to Dad about this. Dad says he's on board with it. He says if you want to try it for, however long the lease is, maybe 1-2 years, go ahead. I know you can do it. He's encouraging me to go. But I also told him, I said, because we've been, going in on half of the major expenses like the propane and the property taxes, I don't want to leave you high and dry. I don't want to just leave you hanging with the bills. And, what are you going to do without the internet? Because without me being here, there's not going to be an internet. And Dad says he's not bothered by it, although I think he would be. For me not being here, but I've lived here for a very long time. I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere in my life. So, I mean, it's a big commitment. It's a big leap, but I have been considering getting my own apartment and, just to see if I can do it. I think I can do it. I mean, I'm here alone right now by myself. I mean, why couldn't I get my own place to live? But I'm kind of excited about it. I want to get my own place. I want to have my privacy, and I just want to be on my own. And I don't think it's a bad thing. And dad, like I said, dad is very supportive of my decision if I decide to move out. And he said that if things don't work out, I've always got a place here. I can always come back. Um, but I just want to try it to see if I could do it. I haven't made any commitments. I haven't, I don't even have any of the applications from the apartment complexes yet, but um, I'll have to pick some up and fill it out. Probably be put on a waiting list depending on if there's any vacancies available. Of course, they do background checks, which I'll pass that with flying colors because I don't have a criminal background. But I am really, I'm looking forward to it. It's a big step, and I'm, it's going to look different in this house with my belongings and, of course, myself not here anymore. But I would have a lot of packing to do. I got my journals, of course. I got my internet, my equipment for my Sunday video updates, and just keep in touch with all of you if you're on my Facebook. And it's going to be a giant leap from everything I'm used to out here in the country. Of course, the apartment complexes are not in the country; they are in town. So it's going to be different. I'm going to have my own electric bill. If I decide to get cable television, I'll have a cable bill. Everything's going to be different. But I think I could do it. I think I could pull it off. I'm really excited. I'll be surprised if I make it through the year or however long the life of the lease is. I'll be surprised if I make it that long. But I think I can do it. I mean, as I pointed out, Dad and Amy, they're gone right now. And I pretty much have a complete run and control of this house, until they get back. I don't think I'd have a problem with having my own apartment. I have good credit. Um, like I said, no criminal background, never been in trouble with the law ever in my life. Um, I think it would be easy, and it's just me. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. I don't have pets. It would just be myself. So I think it might be pretty easy. I think it might be, expedient and expeditious. And I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll be just fine getting my own place. But I haven't, there's nothing set in stone yet. I'm still contemplating. I have to get the applications and all that stuff. But I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be just fine. And the background will be different, of course. You're not going to see the lampshade and the front door and the part of the couch where Dad sits. However, if Dad wants to join me for the Sunday video updates at my apartment, he certainly can. It's not a problem. But it's going to be very different around here without me being here. So I think that's going to be the one point that really gets me, is the fact that like all this section here will be gone. It'll be with me at my apartment. I have a bed that I have to assemble. I just take it up there with me, put it together, done. There's so much change that's going to happen if I move out of this house. And am I afraid? I'm not afraid so much of living on my own as I am worried about my dad and how he's going to, is he going to be able to keep this house up and running with just his income and Amy's income? That's something else I have to consider. I don't want to just, move out or just go away and then leave him strangled with all these bills and no way of being able to cover the expenses. And that's kind of my, I worry about that. And yes, I understand, my dad is a grown man. He should be able to take care of his own business. Yes, I get that. but I've lived here for 25 years. 25 years is a long time to live in one place. And of course, because I've been helping Dad, not for the whole 25 years, not for the entirety of the 25 years, but because for many of those years within the 25-year span, I have been helping Dad with the expenses of this house. I have to keep in mind that when I move out, there's going to be some major changes, not just in the way this house looks, but in, the overall, covering the expenses of the place. That's a big change. And so before I make any sudden changes, I need to make sure that Dad and Amy are both going to be secure in covering the finances of this house. I need to know that they're going to be able to pay the taxes, they're going to be able to, cover the propane, that they're going to be able to, keep the light bill up, which, the light bill it's not astronomical. I mean, the light bill really doesn't get all that much. I think the most the light bill has ever been here was probably about $300 or $400. And even that, I mean, we use the same amount of electricity every month. I mean, I use the computer, like when I do the Sunday video updates, this is just a Sunday thing. Although I do use my computer to check Facebook and emails and stuff like that. But I don't use it like every second of every day. I've got my Apple iPhone. I'm on my iPhone quite a bit. And I use that on, more often than I use my computer. I actually use a computer just to print off letters and, to do the Sunday video updates and to, sometimes I might even do video chats with some friends in Messenger, and I have Skype on my computer as well. So there are other purposes for this computer other than just, Sunday video updates. And I upload videos to my YouTube channel here. So there's that. I've got all that going on. But yeah, I was actually contemplating making that announcement because, I may or may not move out. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. But I really, I'm kind of excited about it. Like, I want to get my own place. I want to get my own apartment. And I told Dad and Amy, I said, you guys, it's not like I'm moving 1,000 miles away. I'm just going to be 6 miles up, in town. You can come and visit me. I'll have coffee, I'll have coffee and, there's always going to be that. It's going to be fine. It'll just be different because I'm not living at home anymore, but rest assured, I'm going to be fine living on my own. I'll be just fine. And I'm really excited about that. And, I don't mind having visitors stop into my apartment if they want to show up at my apartment and say, "Hey, what's up?" But, of course, I have to make it known that I do a Sunday, video update. I'm live streaming on YouTube every Sunday at 3 o'clock. So I'm not going to just cancel an entire week because I'm having a friend over. They can either join me or just not come over at that particular day or in that particular time slot. Because I'm usually here, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm here on YouTube from about 3 until 4. I'm here for about a good solid hour before I wrap it up and just go about my life. But, I think it's going to be great if I get my own place. I think I'm going to do pretty good. Like I said, nothing's set in stone yet. I haven't made any rash decisions on moving out, but it's something I've been considering because, I'm 35 years old. I need to be out on my own. I need to, I need to experience life, and I need to have my privacy, and I need to, I need to just be a man elsewhere, but I always make sure my bills are paid all the time. There's never an issue with that. I know they go by your income, like I think they call it the low income housing. I know they have that federally subsidized housing. So I'm pretty sure they go by your income. So I'd have to find out from my buddy Jake what he was paying at his apartment. My buddy Jake, who we used to do the J&J show together. It's an antiquated little video series that we used to do, and I would do all the video recording. And we've been talking about maybe starting a channel of the J&J show, just, shenanigans and such. But I don't hear from Jake anymore, so I'm not sure what he's up to. I'm not sure what is going on with him. I haven't seen him or his kids in quite some time. They're not living at the apartment complex anymore. They're back home. Um, but I'll definitely have to find out what's going on, or at least I'll have to ask him some questions on like what his expenses are at the apartment complex, because he lived at both Meadowwood and Rock Creek Manor. So I'll just have to ask some questions and find out. Amy lived at Meadowwood Village. And Jake used to live across the drive from her. And then, years later, he was living at Rock Creek Manor. I don't know how much the rent is. Like I said, they go by your income, I think. So I would have to find out from Jake. Or I can even ask my friend Kelly, because she still lives at Rock Creek Manor Apartments, and she might be able to fill me in a little bit on that. But there's so much to go over. There's so much to do. I'm actually excited about getting my own place. And Dad kind of cried, like he was starting to cry. He's like, you're moving away. As Dad, I'm only going to be 6 miles or however far it is from here. I said, I'm not going to be an incredible distance away from home. If you need, if you want to, you can visit me anytime you want. I'm going to come out here. Like if you want to have barbecues or anything like that, cookouts, I'm going to be out here. And he says, well, yeah, you can bring your laundry over. And well, yeah, I'll bring my laundry over. I'll come out and visit and, shoot the shit for a little while and, catch up on things that I'm not here to find out as I usually am. But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to work out. And, of course, I haven't run this by my mom yet. And we'll be having that conversation as well, that I may be potentially moving out, getting my own place. Our phone conversations between my mother and our phone conversations usually go for, 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. I mean, we'll just sit and talk and talk and talk and talk. And we, usually get some things off our chests, and we bring things up and we get real with each other. Very loquacious conversations, which I enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy that, because, it's not all the time that I actually have real conversations with my mom, because I don't talk to my mom regularly as I talk to my dad regularly, because she's living her own life and I'm living at home with my dad. But it's one of the things I'm going to have to discuss with my mom too. It's like, hey, I'm not going to be living at home anymore. I'm maybe potentially getting my own apartment. And I'm looking forward to that very much. And I might even get a new chair, I'll get like an office chair that I can just kick back and relax. And maybe the lighting will be better, because I don't know how the lighting is on your end, but I might get some, lights, to shine like behind the monitor, behind the camera, where it'll shine on me. That way, my face will appear, the image will be better, once I get everything set up at my house, or my apartment rather. But like I said, I'm talking as though I live in an apartment. I don't live in an apartment yet. I have not gotten anything submitted. Nothing is set in stone yet, but it is just something that I'm kind of excited about it. I think I will do very fine living on my own. I think I'll be fine. I see lots of people do it. Lots of my, single friends, they've got their own apartments. I think it'll be great. Yeah, it's not going to be the country life. It's not going to be country living. However, I can grow accustomed to town life just as much as I've grown accustomed to country life, although there is a difference. There's a drastic difference between country living and city living. In this case, Chesaning being a village and not a city, as it's commonly referred to as a city. It's not a city. Um, I, you know, I've lived in Chesaning before. When I was a kid, we lived on Front Street, right next to the nursing home. For those of you familiar with Chesaning, where the parking lot is for the nursing home, there used to be an apartment house there. There were 2 apartments on the bottom, one upstairs, and we lived in the bottom apartment, and the Albritons lived next to us. And then right next door to the apartment building, we had the nursing home, and then across the street from there, we had Mishik's funeral home. So yeah, it was a bit freaky. It was a bit creepy living, between a fucking nursing home and a fucking funeral parlor. Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about that at all. It's like, and I was a kid. I was probably, I don't know, 7, 8 years old at the time, but I remember it very well. That was back when Chesaning was booming. It was a booming town. Everything was happening in Chesaning. Everybody flocked to Chesaning because Chesaning was it. It was happening back in the day. And nowadays you drive through it and it's a depressing shithole where you've got nothing but medical marijuana dispensaries and they've got the breweries, and all the businesses had succumbed because of the economy, and everything about Chesaning has changed. It's not Showboat City anymore. The two only, the 2 lasting places in Chesaning that remain with the Showboat word appearing in the title is Showboat Restaurant and Showboat Park. Chesaning is not even Showboat City anymore. Everything about that town has changed dramatically over the years, and like I said, it's just so dismal when you drive through town anymore. You wouldn't even know that Chesaning was a once thriving, once booming community, because everything just went down the shitter. Everything went to hell. Especially when we lost the Showboat, there was that issue going on, and we lost the Showboat because they embezzled a bunch of money. You can argue with me about this all day. They fucking embezzled. Okay, they embezzled money, and we lost the Showboat, and then after that, everything else just started to fade away. And they were, when you go down the boulevard, it used to be a double laned street. Now they've got 1 lane, and then over here is a bike lane. That was the decision of MDOT, Michigan Department of Transportation. I don't know why the fuck they put a bike lane in town. I hardly ever see anybody use that thing. I don't know why the fuck they thought it was a brilliant idea to put a bike lane through Chesaning. I'm not really keen on that, but it wasn't my decision. I'm sure there were many other people who weren't too thrilled about that either. But what can you do? It was MDOT's decision, and cost the taxpayers a bundle. But Chesaning is really, really just a different place now. My buddy Jake, as I point out, he's got 2 younger kids, and we try to explain to his kids that Chesaning used to be this whole different place. I mean, you look at it now and you think nothing of it. Nowadays, or back then, we had everything. My cousin Carol, she worked at the malt shop for any number of years. That would be my mom's niece, my cousin Carol Ann. She worked at the malt shop. We had Jim's IGA. We had where Dollar General is. That used to be an IGA store. Where Little Caesars Pizza is, that used to be A&W Root Beer. Where China King is, that used to be Point Party Shop / Mooney's Ice Cream. We had Farmer Pete's, Pete Packing, and we had where Citgo is, where Horgers is, out front, there used to be a big Union 76 petroleum ball. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And if you go down, I think it's Lansing Street in Chesaning by the Road Commission Garage, you can still see the big orange 76 petroleum ball. It's not the ball anymore. It's just like half of it. And it's just out in the yard, just lying. I think Dad and Amy are here, so they should be popping in shortly. They just had to go up to Frank's to get some Pepsi and maybe some other stuff, but they should be coming through the door anytime. I don't think it's my Uncle Mark, because Uncle Mark has not been around. Actually, he has been around, just not as frequently as he usually is. My Uncle Bob passed away, which would be Uncle Mark's brother. Bob passed away, so now there's just Uncle Mark and Aunt Joanne, the two last surviving of my great grandpa and grandma's kids on the Perkins side. Oh, and before I forget, Dad and I were in Saginaw last week. We went to a bar called Maple Gardens, and as it turns out, my cousins own the bar. Her name is Amanda Mitchell, and she and her husband own Maple Gardens Bar. And she didn't know that we were related, but I had to explain the family tree a little bit, which is her grandpa Raymond, whom of which, by the way, is still alive, and I met him, and he's a fucking awesome guy. He's like 87 years old, but he's fucking cool. His sister, Raymond's sister, which would be Amanda's grandfather. Raymond Giroux is Amanda's grandfather. Amanda, who owns the bar. And my grandpa Herb, his mom, Violet and Raymond were brother and sister. So that makes us related. It'd be on the Giroux side of the family, not the Fuller side. So that's how we're related. And she didn't know it at first, and I had to kind of go down the family tree and say, well, because your grandpa Raymond and my great grandma Violet Giroux were brother and sister. So that we're cousins, we're related. And she's like, oh, cool. And I said, well, I'll stop in, we're going to make a trip to Saginaw. I'm going to stop in to see you. We'll talk, get to know each other a little better. And she's a really nice person. So if for my local friends, I'm going to promote Maple Gardens Bar for my cousin Amanda, because she's really super nice. And Maple Gardens Bar is a nice little establishment. Granted, I don't go bar hopping around Saginaw because it's Saginaw, but I will say that Maple Gardens Bar is a nice little establishment. And I found out that Amanda used to bartend at Legends Bar and Grill over on Michigan Avenue, just as you're coming into Saginaw. She used to be a bartender there. So she's had some years of experience in the bar industry. But it was a nice visit. Mind you, it was the same day that our cat Patches was viciously mauled to death. It was on Wednesday when that happened. I still feel bad. And as I said at the top of the video, as the days wear on, I think I'm getting better at just accepting and incorporating the fact that she's no longer with us. And for those of you watching, you're probably thinking, oh, Jared, she was just a cat, Maybe to you, she was just a cat. But when you've had an animal, a pet, when you take them in, when you become a steward of their health and well-being for 15, and this is happening over 15 years time, you get attached to your pets, to your fur babies, as they're called. I love dogs. I love cats. But I'm still hurt about it. My heart is still hurting from this horrific loss, but I know I'll be fine as time goes on. Like I said, I'm just going to learn to incorporate that into my everyday life and accept the fact that Patches is gone. And I'm going to have to do the same for Barkley and Scruffy when they pass away eventually. I'm not looking forward to that. It's not something I am, searching for, but I know eventually one day it's going to happen. We're going to have to face that reality. And Dad and I have both agreed, if I'm still living here, by the way, Dad and I both agreed that we are done with animals. Once these dogs are gone, we have another cat named Baby Boy. When he passes away, we're we're officially done with animals. That's it. Dad doesn't want to, deal with that anymore. And I understand something else on another angle where Dad's coming from. He says, if I want to just go on vacation, if I want to just up and leave, I'll be able to do that because I won't have to worry about, are the animals fed and watered? I have to let them out. Are they going to trash the fucking place because I've been gone for so long? If I want to go on a vacation, I can just up and leave, as I want. And it's not to say we don't love our animals. We do. We love our animals very much. But on the flip side of that token, not having animals means that you can just up and leave whenever you want. Kind of like not having kids. You can just up and leave and do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. And if you're new to my YouTube channel here, yes, I use the F word. I swear. Big shocker, right? Just like the big shock of the century. Jared Fuller, Jerry Bear says the fuck word in his videos. Well, tough shit. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. But if you decide to take it, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you are subscribed to my channel. I'm glad you could join me. And I'm very, very stumped as to why I cannot see the live stream to the left. There's like no chat anywhere, which I'm really, really, really stumped by, because usually I can see the chat log and there's just no chat log. I might have to go grab my cell phone real quick, just to see what's going on, because I can't see anything on this at all whatsoever. So hang tight, guys. I'm going to go grab, I should have had it out here. I don't know why the fuck I didn't. So just hang tight. We got a little over 15 minutes left of the show, but just hang tight. I'll be right back. I got to go get my cell phone. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Excuse me, buddy. Okay. That didn't take long. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to turn the volume down so there's no playback going into the live stream here. No one's chatting. Okay. But, I just want to make sure that, if I'm missing any comments, let me see here. I'm going to put the link to my Facebook page in the chat log. Just 1 second here, guys. So that I'm going to put the link to my Facebook / I'm going to see if it's going to appear. Come on. I hate the stupid spell check. This, okay. Okay. So that should be in the chat log, but it's not appearing on my screen. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I have no clue what's going on. So I can see myself talking, but I don't know what the hell is going on with the chat log. I probably fucked something up, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. So, all right, I'm done with the cell. Actually, I have a text message that I have to reply to. Okie dokie. I like to keep in contact with I like to keep in contact with some friends of mine. They're not they're not all aware of me being on YouTube right now. They're probably thinking, "Well, where did Jared go? He's here 1 minute, gone the next. He just doesn't want to talk to anybody." No, it's not that. It's just I'm going back and forth between YouTube and Facebook, and I have no fucking chat log, so I don't know what's going on with that. But rest assured, I won't be fucking with the stuff over here anymore. I'm just gonna stay focused on this. And that'll be next week's lesson. Don't fuck with the chat log because I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna see anything. So turn my volume up. I don't even know if I can hear myself, honestly. Let's see. Oh, I can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, I can hear myself speak, so I know that you can hear me talk. Um, but I'm just sitting here chatting. Usually I have help from Dad and Amy, you know, off camera. But as I pointed out at the top of the video, they're not home, they're gone. So but they should be back shortly. They should be back anytime. Um, and thank you for being patient as I got up to get my cell phone. I know that can be a bit of a pain when you're watching a live stream and the person talking just gets up and fucking walks away. I know that can be a pain, and I'm not trying to be a pain with anybody, but I should have had my cell phone out here with me the whole entire time. But if you are new to my channel, welcome. Again, my name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I got my nickname Jared Bear because I'm a childhood cancer survivor. 33 years since I battled Wilms tumor, nephroblastoma. I'm glad you're subscribed. And of course, you can find me on Facebook. But, you're going to come with good intentions, just like, once I get to see my chat log again, because I can't fucking see it here. I can only see it if I'm on my cell phone. You will behave yourself. You're going to carry yourself with decorum and a display of respect and manners. Otherwise, I'm going to boot you. And I do have judicious use of the ban feature, and just be prepared. You come in here, if you behave yourself and if you carry yourself in a civil manner, then we won't have any issues. But the minute you come in here acting a fool, being a dick, you're gone. So just behave yourself. So we have, which by the way, I'm drinking Hawaiian Punch this week. We're out of Pepsi, and that's what Dad and Amy went to get. Some more Pepsi. We are about 12 minutes until the end of the show. And, if you're a regular subscriber to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you again for stopping by and indulging me for the time that I've been here. I'm usually here for 1 solid hour every Sunday between the hours of 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. I try to keep it, usually I have help with Dad and Amy's assistants, but, they're not here, so I'm flying solo this week. I'm surprised that they haven't walked through the door yet. Because usually, Frank's is just maybe 6-7 miles up the road. It's not far away. And maybe they're doing some heavy duty grocery shopping at Frank's and I just don't know about it. I did buy another one of those shank hams, and Dad says he wants to start cutting up the ham because we're going to make one of my delicious soups. I cut up a shank ham. I throw in some frozen vegetables, corn and green beans and peas. I throw in baby carrots. I'll chop up some fresh celery, which I got to use very soon before it goes bad. And then for potatoes, I peel and boil those, and then I just cut them into smaller chunks, throw them into the soup, into a big stock pot. I paid like $10 for it at Walmart. It's about Well, it's not that. It's about maybe this big, and it holds quite a bit of stuff. So I'll be making my soup. We're expecting a cool down this week. It's going to be in the 60s, and yeah, that's a cool off compared to the warm temperatures we had last week. It was near 90 degrees, and some places even top 90 degrees. And Traverse City, Michigan, which is up here. I love having I've always got a map. In Traverse City, Michigan, it was 93 degrees. They had a nice breeze come off Lake Michigan, and within 10 minutes, the temperature dropped 30 degrees. I mean, that fast. So it was just, that's amazing. That's a amazing temperature drop within 10 minutes. I mean, that's very quick, very brief, very swift, and all the other synonyms you want to throw in for good measure. What's up, Barky? Hey, Scruff. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about this week, everything that's been happening, because usually for those of you who are new to my channel, what I do is I talk about the week in review. And I'll kind of, if there's something major important I want to talk about, I'll highlight that. And usually with Dad and Amy's assistance, they'll help me, get to a point in conversation, because sometimes, flying solo, I don't always know what to say. I run out of things to say. And even when they're here, I run out of things to say, and then I fall back on Dad and Amy. It's like, okay, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I've just been sitting here mindlessly rambling for the past half hour to 45 minutes. I need some help here. You guys got to interject some thought. Let me know what you think, guys. It's getting kind of rough doing all the speaking, but they're usually pretty good about that. They, when they have something to say, they'll interject their thoughts. Dad, he goes the political route, and I'm not political. I'm an atheist. I don't have any religious beliefs. I'm not even political. Dad will go the political route. And that's kind of where, the rubber meets the road, because Dad talks about controversial things, or he'll talk about political things. It's like, Dad, I really don't want to go in that direction this week, but he'll go that direction. And it's like, fuck. So now, and I always have to point out that Dad's thoughts and viewpoints don't necessarily reflect my thoughts and viewpoints on things. And I always have to put that disclaimer out there. Now we're having this abortion debate again. And my position, my thought, if Dad and Amy were here, especially Amy, because we've had conversations about the abortion thing in the past, and even on, the live streams here on YouTube, my position is, and always will be, is that it is up to a woman to decide what she wants to do with her body. It's not like if I'm with a woman and I impregnate her, ultimately it's up to her as to whether or not she wants to keep the child. It's not up to me. It's her body. It's a very slippery slope of a conversation. It's very, well, you have a say so on this, Jared. I wouldn't if I had a girlfriend and I impregnated her. Although I participated in impregnating her, I still wouldn't have any place to say, you're not aborting my baby. You're not aborting this child. Or actually, that's saying it would be, you're not terminating the pregnancy. I think that would be the more appropriate thing to say. You're not terminating the pregnancy. You're not terminating a fetus. I couldn't say that. I couldn't tell her that. That is her body, her decision. And I've had this conversation with many people, and they, well, you're in favor of baby killing, and no, I'm not. I'm not. I don't like murder of any kind whatsoever, but this isn't murder. This is termination of a pregnancy. I don't know. There's a difference. I don't really have a lot of time to go into great detail about that, but I think any reasonable person would understand that there is a difference between murder and just terminating a pregnancy. It's not really the same thing when you think about it. And I know I'm going to get hate mail for this. I'm going to get all kinds of bullshit. Oh, Jared, you're so fucking wrong about the abortion thing. You're in favor of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just keep your comments to yourself. I'm not even interested in reading anything you have to say, but I'm going to be checking the chat log now because, hey, you just never know. You just never know. Well, I'm going to be out of here anyway. I'm going to be out of here anyway shortly, so it's not going to matter. But, yeah, so those are my thoughts. We're down to the last 4 minutes of the show. Usually I turn the floor over to Dad and Amy so they would have a last word, to say anything they want to say before we wrap it up. But seems they're not here. I'll just go ahead and say this. My name is Jared Fuller, also known as Jared Bear. You can call me Jared Bear anytime. You find me on Facebook, say, hey, Jared Bear, what's up? That's my nickname. I've gone by that nickname for the past 33 years. Don't look for any changes anytime soon. I got the nickname because I'm a childhood cancer survivor. I had Wilms tumor, stage 3 unilateral Wilms tumor. I was 2.5 years old. I had chemo, radiation, blood transfusion. I was treated in East Lansing, and I had my nephrectomy at Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. So I have a great deal of history with that, with the capital region of Michigan. Oh, what those are? Oh, those are my gel pens. I just noticed in the cinnamon apple smoke odor. But yeah, I have a history with the capital region of Michigan, and I have a history of having childhood cancer. So I'm very, eloquent in talking about things like this, and I am very open and honest about what I think about awareness. People have for years, and this has been going on for a very long time, but people have fervently romanticized this as some kind of a champion of look what I can do and look how amazing I am because I can support such a worthy cause. Well, I don't disagree. It is a worthy cause, but I am not so superficial in what I do that I'm doing this for the pats on the back. That's everybody else. And I'm not shy in expressing that. I am not mainstream. I don't do what everybody else is doing. I'm not following whatever the fuck else is going on. I have lived through some real life things regarding childhood cancer that I don't need the approval of anybody else. I'll do my own thing all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. I don't follow the pecking order. I don't take, orders from, well, this is what you're going to do, and this is what we want you to do. I don't give a fuck what you want me to do. I have lived through too many things, childhood cancer related, and, I've been through too much just at long last to discover in my adult years that I have to take orders from other people who did not walk in my shoes. Fuck that, and fuck you. I'm not going to do it. And I am very outspoken about that. And, it tends to piss people off, but I don't care. Some things need to be said. I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm not going to be told what I need to do or how to do things or whatever the case may be. I'll do what I want to do in a way that I see fit. And I don't need anybody's approval. I have, a battle scar here. I have a battle scar here under my armpit right there. Well, actually right here. That's where my Broviac port was. And I've got a scar going across my stomach right there. So I've got battle scars. Those are my tattoos. Okay. I don't have any, like ink tattoos. Those are my life or death tattoos. So, But that's me. That's just a little sliver of who I am, what I'm about. I mean, if you listen to my Daily Rant recordings, you'll also find out a little bit more truth about that. But we have officially hit the 4 o'clock mark. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I thank you all so much for watching this week. Maybe Dad and Amy will be back next week. I'm not sure. Which they probably will be. But I love you all very much, and I thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be here next week on the 22nd of May. So much love. Peace out, guys. Take care.